For today's adventure, guys, we are going to explore the NASA here in Texas. So here's our ticket that we are going to explore the NASA. Look at that, it's really big.
A 747 airliner piggybacking a 165,000-pound space shuttle. Who dreamed up this remarkable partnership of an airplane and an orbiter? Whose imagination solved the thorny problem of returning the shuttle to its home base?
On top of a 747, a Boeing 747, to move it across the country, to get it from California back to Cape Canaveral for the next launch. Yes, it'll fly. And yes, we can actually use the Boeing 747 to separate the Space Shuttle Enterprise to do the approach and landing tests, the first gliding flights of the Space Shuttle, to prove that whole concept.
Welcome to NASA, the Space Center. Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to NASA here in Texas. So for now we are heading to the
concierge.
Okay, we're heading to the
Yes.
concierge, and you need to wear a mask
There's
to
the car.
visit
We'll be able
this
to.
place. So let's get in.
This going here?
This is the entrance.
Yeah.
Throughout the duration of your tour, make sure you
Oh. Oh, get out there.
That's the moon. The moon is there. And look at the Apollo. Oh, look at that. Really neat.
In March, we were going to have Jim Lovell here. We were going to remember the anniversary of Apollo 13, and then COVID shut us all down. So some of this is still the leftover from that, and some of it has moved on traveling exhibition. But this is real cool. This is actually Gene Kranz's comments that he made during the Apollo 13 problem. And all of this really is interesting that you'll gather on. We have a fuel cell over there. That's pretty cool. We're talking about splashdowns. You know, most people don't know about a splashdown. You have to be my age or older, and this is what we're going back to. In fact, SpaceX and Boeing are leading the way in that. Kazakhstan used to be the landing area when they came back from the space station, but they landed on the ground over there. So it's something that used to be around, it's coming back. Now this is kind of an ideal of our rocket of the future. It looks a lot like the Saturn, for those of you that remember the Saturn. It's a little bit taller. The Saturn rocket was 363 feet. This one's going to be about 393. We're not going to use the F1 engines that you'll see in a little while because they consume 20 tons of fuel a second. Talking about it while it's here, but it's designed to go to Mars, it can go to the moon, and it can go to the space station. It's capable of all those things. So this is good information. I haven't seen that. Right over here. This is kind of like a Walt Disney version of the Orion. It's mainly just to give the kids an idea. We do have a real Orion out there. It is larger than the Apollo. It's out at Building 9 out at NASA. They've been training with it for several years now. It's not just new, it's been around. This one wasn't space worthy, it wasn't meant to be. It was a classroom for the astronauts. And they would spend many hours inside learning the buttons and knobs and the switches. We built 2 of them for that purpose. Perfect for preparing the astronauts. What I like for everybody to understand, it's the exact size. This is not space worthy, but that's what landed on the moon to detail. The bottom part will become your launch pad to leave the moon, and it's the top that comes back to find the commander. Your commander is the most important person there, in my opinion, because he's your ride home.
Let's get into the museum.
John Kennedy, the president, said we were going to the moon, and that was the podium he was standing in front of.
Oh. Battery before, so.
So this is a pretty much of a guest experience. It's nothing used for training, but in order to get people to kind of look inside the lunar lander, this gives them an idea of what it would be like. It's small. There were no seats. They said you don't need to sit down. You're just going down to the surface of the moon. And it's really just for us and teachers and everybody to help explain a little bit about it. The dynamics that we had to find out about were out in space. And the most important thing we found out was how to monitor in the astronaut program, they hated it. And they hated the fact that the engineers quit listening to them. The astronaut had something like desolate beautification. He called it very desolate but beautiful at the same time. We had to study the scientists that could not go were screaming at the astronauts, make sure you do this, make sure you do that, make sure you get this, make sure you get that. And they were probably going to have a stress attack. They wanted to be there, but the astronauts' hands are their hands. And most kids don't even know that we used to land in the ocean. And we're going back to water landings. Even SpaceX's Dragon capsule, when it comes back from the space station, splashes down the ocean, and people are fascinated about that. But that's the way it used to be. It's very, whatever the word is, it's strong. Every time I say this, it makes me feel older. But it was 51 years ago this July that Neil Armstrong said Houston Tranquility Base here. And we had mission control last summer for the 50th anniversary. We had mission control up and running like it was 1969. It took Space Center Houston $5 million and NASA's blessing to make it happen. Because with the government, we wanted to put the room back in 1969 exactly like it was. And NASA said, well, you can give us the money to do that, but we can't guarantee what it is. This was our Apollo spacecraft. This was the Russian spacecraft, the Soyuz, and we were going to join together in space. And we had to build a section to make that happen, and that's what it is. Their piece was mounting mechanisms were different, so we had to make it work, and so our piece and their piece could come together. And we literally called this the handshake in space. It was the Soyuz Apollo project, test project, and basically it was in the 70s. And after we were going to the moon, we had some equipment left over. We wanted to see if we could do this. And take a look at the man taking a shower. And the reason is that didn't work. We wanted to have, the astronauts wanted to have a shower in space. They wanted it to be part of the end of their day. You're welcome to come. But water in space doesn't work like you stand under a shower. In space, you gotta grab the water. It balls up in little balls and splash it on you. And so it didn't work. And nobody was happy about it because the astronauts, everybody likes a shower at the end of the day. The astronauts say the last thing they do before they go to the space station is shower, and the first thing they do when they get back is shower. Because for 6 months you spent was on Skylab, and he talked about it, so it gives you a real good idea of Skylab.
They're using the Apollo capsules to come up with?
Yes, they used the Apollo spacecraft, and we had an observatory, a telescope in space.
Get on the tram.
Are we?
Yeah.
Maybe.
We're going to Mars. Maybe Mars. Oh, Here?
Yeah.
So now we are riding this. We're gonna ride this one.
It's a train.
We're riding a tram because we are going to go. What is it, love?
We're gonna go to the space rocket.
We're going to go to the space rocket. That's why we are riding the tram. Going
You can go in that plane.
Oh, we can?
See it? See the station?
As you come around the corner, you'll see there's 747 and 6 options.
There's another one.
We are approaching our first stop. This is the Saturn V building. Just a moment, we're going to walk down the Saturn V, 367 feet in length. There's 2 rockets that stand in the yard. One is a slim black and white price black rocket. It is the Mercury Redstone. That's the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. As you come into the building, you're entering where what lies here is a Saturn V. This was the largest rocket ever built by America. It was the loudest rocket ever built by America. And we have the opportunity to share this one with you because it never flew. Please come on in. As you come in, you're entering behind the first stage. So you saw those first stage engines. Those engines were created specifically to lift 6.5 million pounds off Earth. When they fired and tested those specifically for this first stage, they fired up and they were actually had the capability, and that got the crew going. So the crew was actually headed to Houston, Tranquility Base here, Eagle has landed. That was our first manned mission to the moon. Every single stage that would have been needed is lying right here. So why do we have a full Saturn V? Well, Apollo 18, 19, we're going to, at the top, you'll see where the...
Yeah, if they build around the moon, that's where they park to the moon.
And is it in the moon too, right?
Look at that, the way the design of the lunar rover, it's on a square platform. But you'll see how the legs are latched, and you actually articulate where they can lock and latch. And they would actually fold that.
18.
Yeah.
And then 19, 20.
Those were all fuel cells. That just each one of those dropped off as it got so high in the air.
So this is on the ground.
Yeah. This is what the people at the command center there. That's where they watch these boards and all, watching stuff. Pretty neat, isn't it? Yeah.
Journey to Mars.
See, in that little bitty pod, that's all that came back to home.
Which one?
This last little section, the little
That's
phone.
the one that we saw there.
Yeah. Well, you turn the buggy around. Do you see that?
We're going to try if we can get into the plane. This is really big.
Missing out here.
Now look at the plane. It's huge.
Look at all those little bitty pieces of stuff on it.
placing the space shuttle orbiter on top of the 747, Boeing 747, and move it across the country to get it from California back to Cape Canaveral for the next launch.
When John Kuiper proposed his piggybacking idea to NASA officials, they were skeptical.
Workspace.
By refining the models and test after test, John Kuiper
So this is in front.
finally achieved success.
Yes, it can fly. And yes, we can actually use the Boeing 747 to separate.
We cannot go out. Oh, we cannot go up.
The approach and landing test, the first gliding flights of the space shuttle to prove that whole concept.
Successful flights with models led to tests using an actual 747
Look,
and a prototype
there's
shuttle
it actually shows it.
Enterprise. John Kuiper's vision had become a reality built from moments of inspiration followed by years of sheer hard work.
Look at there. It landed.
It's trying to fly away. It's helping just so at the time if it's reached the designated airspeed for separation, he would fall on speed.
Beautiful separation, nice and clear. Beautiful separation. And it's clear.
And it was a good healthy acceleration.
Of course.
When did you do that?
On August 12, 1977, astronaut Fred Hayes.
Elation, obviously, I was very excited to be able to do it, but at the same time, there's a lot of pressure.
Because you know you're separating.
Do it again. Oh, that's cute.
Oh, look, it shows. See how it mashes down?
Yeah.
They had to put these steel bands in here, man. See the steel to help support it.
It's really huge, right?
Yeah.
We're inside this big NASA plane.
And the engineers have come up with a perfectly viable solution. It's called a drink bag.
Here, baby. Baby.
But the shuttle's
We can go back to the plane. This,
Yeah, we need to go up to the other, to the
Stuff.
top.
yeah.
Let's go. We are here on the second one. To the Independence. The inside.
Wonder what that thing is.
What lady?
Look at this. Look at the controls.
Yeah, goodness. And you're going to fly this. And this
Yeah.
is the control inside of the plane.
Yeah.
What plane is this?
This is a shuttle that goes to the moon. Huh?
This is the shuttle goes to the moon.
And that's when they land. This is where they control it to fly it. They fly it. What's this?
Oh, here. See the astronaut inside? You're gonna get in here.
Yeah, she's putting on the suit.
It's heavy. And we're going out this one, right?
I guess, yeah.
Tissue, dry wipes, trash bags, gloves, wet trash. This is their sleeping bag.
Columbia, Houston, your go at throttle up. Roger, PC. Activate recorders in channel 145, please. ISO copies. KOPS. Okay, copy. Then Houston flight. Houston flight copies, report to work.
CLS is go for auto sequence start. Go for ETLO2 pressure station.
NTD Houston flight 212.
They left a space satellite out in space. They flew it up in a plane. This thing here rolled down and attached to it. It sat right here,
Yeah.
and these doors opened up.
Ah, this one we're going to open.
Yeah. And then this thing stood it up and let it go. See that thing there?
Yeah. That's the one. Right?
Yep, that's this thing here. And it left that satellite out in its communication, like for cable TV or for satellite TV and stuff.
So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy our video today.
Yeah.
The one that we're gonna share it to you. Thank you so much. And see you on our next one. Bye bye.
Good walk.